Hello, good morning. My name is Dr. Meetei. I'm from Taiwan, and I'm working as an English professor at Hungkuo Delin University of Technology in New Taipei City, Tuseng District. Not only teaching as a professor, I'm also working as the president of INBA Taiwan and also as the president of INBA Global Asia. INBA stands for International Natural Bodybuilding Association. Today I'm not really going to talk about INBA, PNBA, or about sports, but I will be coming back about sports, about exercise later. But I'm going to talk about COVID-19. I think it is time for the whole world to learn something from Taiwan, especially about fighting COVID-19. Taiwan actually got the first COVID-19 case, confirmed case, on January 21st this year. And one of the a lady who was teaching in Wuhan in China came back, and I heard she was the first patient, COVID-19 patient. Since then, the number increased a little by little, and then suddenly, sometime in the early March, the number of infected patients became pretty high. Not so high compared to other countries, of course, but most of those cases were actually imported from Western countries, especially the USA, Spain, and Italy, Netherlands, and Germany, like that. And of course, by our own Taiwanese people. They had been there for their tour or for job or for educations, whatever they brought, and so the number became suddenly bigger. But still, it is much lesser than other countries, even in Asia. Forget about the Western countries, because the number is very high and the death rate is very high. But here, so far right now, Taiwan has 438 confirmed cases, and out of these 438 confirmed cases, more than 300 patients have been recovered, and only, I would say only compared to other countries, 6 people have lost their lives through this COVID-19. So compared to even say, like, let's say Singapore, for example, Singapore has very strict laws, and also it's a small place, and also they take care very well. But then, even then, the number of infected confirmed cases in Singapore is more than 10,000. And of course, in Japan, in South Korea, they all have more than 10,000. I think Singapore has 20,000, and Japan has 15,000 plus, Singapore 20 plus, and South Korea 10,000 plus, while Taiwan has not even 1,000. So Taiwan has just 438 confirmed cases, and out of this, as I mentioned, more than 300 people have been recovered, and only 6 lives lost. So compared to Asian countries, Taiwan is much safer, and I think taking care pretty well. But if we go to the Western countries like like Europe and the USA, the situation is very bad. It's very unfortunate that many lives lost, and many people have been infected by this COVID-19 viruses. So what I like to share right now is I think it's time for many other countries, especially the Western and the European countries, to learn some of the ways how the Oriental countries like Taiwan has been dealing with COVID-19. Coming to the world, especially European countries like Italy, Spain, Netherlands, the UK, France, Germany, and of course it's very unfortunate that the USA has the largest number of infected people, reaching 1,238,040, and the death rate is very high, actually 72,000, and 284 people have lost their lives. So what I like to share with you is what about other countries? Learn something from Taiwan. I'm not really boasting, but I like other countries to be more open and a little bit humble, so that we can learn each other. So Western countries can learn from Taiwan, Eastern Oriental countries also can learn from Western countries. So this way we can fight COVID-19 much better. Now I would like to share how Taiwan deals with COVID-19. Actually, Taiwan has learned so much from the past epidemic diseases like SARS in 2003. Taiwan has learned a lot of lessons from that epidemic, and also time to time we have in China, also in Taiwan, time to time we had bird flus, like some animal disease and like that. So I think we take these things very seriously. So whenever we have some kind of problems, we always try to protect as much as possible. As Taiwan is a small island, and also many people, very crowded. So if we are not careful, it will be very dangerous for us, because we live very crowded, and so the physical contact is very, close. So to protect from such epidemic, this kind of viruses, I think the best way is to follow the guidelines given by the local government, Taiwan government, or by the World Health Organizations. And right now what we do is we follow the World Health Organization guidelines as well as Taiwan government's guidelines. So that's why that's why the situation in Taiwan is much stable and safer, even though in many other countries around the world have lockdowns and curfews to deal with these COVID-19 problems. Taiwan, we don't have curfew or lockdown, and we are still having classes. All the educational institutes are open, and they have been running since the beginning. The only loss was we opened our educational institutes were open 1 week late after the winter vacation. That's the only loss we had. Otherwise, we've been opening. But it doesn't mean that we neglect the guidelines and the procedures and the process how we deal with COVID-19. So, for example, like if you like to go out, yes, we don't have lockdown, we don't have curfew, so you can go out. Of course, you are free. But when you take a taxi, you can't get in without using masks. Also, when you go to the underground train, which we call subway or tube or underground train or MRT, we are not allowed to get inside without using masks, without wearing masks. And the other one is in every entrance, in educational institutes, in department stores, supermarkets, restaurants, hotel, and in all, even in the big community buildings, we have to get in through scanning, through body checkup. So we will be checked in, whether it is educational institute or restaurant, anywhere we go, our body temperature will be checked. And once, if we are found more than 37 degree body temperature, then we won't be allowed to go in, and we will be advised to go to the doctor to check our body if we have COVID-19 problem. And this is some of the steps the people of Taiwan follow. And whatever guidelines we are given, actually people in Taiwan are very simple, and we follow the guidelines given by the World Health Organization and also given by local governments. All right, as a professor myself, we've been opening classes from the beginning. As I mentioned before, we just lost 1 week, and we have to make up it at the end of this semester. So, but what we do here in educational institutes is this. First, when you go to the university or education institutes, there will be people at the gate to check your body temperature. If anyone is found more than 37 body temperature, then he or she or the student will be sent back, will be advised to go to the hospital and check up their body. And the second one is everybody has to give hand sanitizer. They have to use hand sanitizer and keep their hands clean. And number 3, when we enter the class or office, all the tables, microphones, computers, desks will be rubbed clean by alcohol-based liquid or some sanitizing liquid. And the other one is we also try to keep the distance as much as possible, and especially in the restaurants or in the classroom. And in the restaurants, you will see if 2 people have to sit, if the table has 4 chairs, only 2 people can sit, so that social distancing can be kept. These are some of the things we follow here in Taiwan, and the people follow it. And also, not only teaching in the university, I also go to gym to train myself. Even in the gym, the machines and all the things inside the gym will be cleaned 3 or 4 times using those sanitizing liquids. And when you enter, of course, you will be checked. Your body temperature will be checked, and they will spray, the workers, the staffs will spray this hand sanitizer, the alcohol-based liquid sprays on your hands. And then only you can get into the gym. And in the gym, some people wear masks and some people don't wear. Gym, I think people are considered to be healthy and strong, so of course some people they don't worry, because actually it is not so easy for the virus to attack strong and healthy people actually. But still, for me, I'm extra careful, so I never take off. I mostly wear my mask. Of course, it's uncomfortable when I train hard and feel exhausted. I like to breathe more. I like to take in some fresh air. Of course, it's not easy, but it's better to face the little problem than getting COVID-19 viruses. So in the gym, in the restaurant, inside the bus, and everywhere, our body temperature will be checked, and we will use the hand sanitizer. And this is how we deal with COVID-19 here in Taiwan. And I think many other countries, especially wearing masks, is a kind of uncomfortable or some kind of wrong thinking people have. I think especially in the Western countries. I heard some people say like if they use masks, they are considered as sick people or something like that. But here in Taiwan, in the Oriental countries, in the East, we don't have that kind of concept. So whether we are sick or we are not sick, we wear. One is to protect from pollution. The other one is to protect ourselves from others, cold or sneezing or flus. And the other one is to protect others. So we are actually used to wear masks. And I think this is something my friends from the Western countries should learn. And there's nothing bad in learning something good. Yeah, this can save lives actually. And above this, of course, this is about how we deal COVID-19 in Taiwan. And the other one is, this is for, it doesn't matter whether we live in the West or in the East or South or not, whatever, we need to strengthen our immune system. And as a professional athlete, as an elite natural athlete who never use steroids and drugs, I would like to share something about how to keep our immune system high and strong. This is one of the best way to deal with COVID-19. As so far I know from experts, people who lost lives, they have weak immune system. So if we like to fight COVID-19 effectively, I think doing exercise and boosting our immune system is one of the best ways we should do, not consider, but we must do. So I like people to do some regular exercise, some kind of exercise or sports, whatever, as long as you can sweat, as long as you can train, say 3 to 5 days in a week, say spending about 30 to 45 minutes, that will be good enough. And this will actually help to boost your immune system so much that I think COVID-19 viruses cannot come to you. And exercise, about exercise, if you live in the open space like in the countryside, you're lucky. You can go out and still, in the open air, especially in the morning, you can do exercise. If you live in the city, then you have to confine into your home, and you can do other exercise by opening the windows to get fresh air. You can do home exercise. There are so many home exercise. You can just go and check in YouTube. So many people upload about how to do exercise. So yoga is one of them you can try, and there are there are dips and sit-ups and the free squat and push-ups. There are so many exercises we can do at home. But here in Taiwan, gyms are still open, so we go to gym and we train. All right, this is about exercise. And the other one is even you follow the World Health Organizations and your local government's guidelines to fight COVID-19, and suppose you also do regular exercise, but if you miss to have or to eat good, complete, balanced diet, then again the effect will be very less. So to help the guidelines and to help to boost your immune system and to help your exercise, I mean to get more benefit from your exercise and from the COVID-19 guidelines, I would suggest that you take enough rest. Without having enough rest, your body can never be strong and you can never boost your immune system because you will be too tired. So I suggest that you try to sleep 7 to 8 hours every day. And it is actually better if, mostly during the lockdown, you don't have to work, you don't have to go out. So instead of, busy surfing your mobile phones and computer or playing cards or chatting with family members late, I think I suggest you to sleep before 12. And next day you can get up quite fresh and then you can do some exercise with your family members and like that. And this way, and this is about exercise, and to help this to be to get the benefit from this exercise, you must also eat balanced and a good diet, like enough protein, enough complex carbohydrate, and also green leafy vegetables if you can manage to buy. And please don't use too much oil. Simple boil and steam cook are always better. That kind of food will help you to boost your immune system. So this is about food, and the other one is about sleeping enough. And lastly, I would love you to spend with your family members. And you might be excusing yourself, oh, I don't have time, I have to work, I have to go office, oh, I have to study, I have to do this and that. And it might be you didn't give enough time for your family members, for your children, for your wife, for your parents, or for your husband. But now, as lockdown or curfew, or you have more time because you cannot go out, you can do that. But the other one is if you are alone, or you have nothing to do with family members, or you don't have children, then of course there might be something you always wanted to do in your life. Might be reading books, might be improving your speaking English or language, some other languages, or writing a book, or doing exercise. There are so many things you might be thinking about, you always wanted to do, and now is the right time. So you can try to do that. But the most important one is I like you to cherish. I like you to spend quality time with your family members. And this is amazing. I don't have a lockdown, I don't have curfew here in Taiwan, but every time I come back from my office, every time I come back from my gym, I always try to spend some quality time with my children, with my wife, and with my family. And this gives me real happiness. So to sum up, I think it's a good time for other countries to learn from Taiwan to how to deal with this COVID-19. Please don't feel shame or bad about wearing masks. We have to wear, we don't have to wear, depending on the situation. So there's nothing to do like you look like sick or you are healthy. We are just trying to protect ourselves from these terrible unseen viruses. So don't feel free, whether you are Western, whether you are Oriental, it doesn't matter. Please use masks, and also use hand sanitizer when you go out, and touch things which many people tend to touch because through physical contact this virus can spread easily. And the other one is try not to be too close, even to your close friends. We never know who has these viruses, because the symptom will come later. So it is good to keep the social distancing. And then to please follow the World Health Organization's guidelines to fight against COVID-19, and also follow your country's guidelines to stay away and protect yourself and protect others. I mean, the guidelines your government gives you. And the next is to do regular exercise. This will help you to boost your immune system, and you can stay happy, healthy, and young. And the other one is, of course, you need to eat good diet. Without good diet, your regular exercise, your guidelines, following the guidelines will have no value actually without eating. And the next one is about sleeping on time and getting up early, and try to sleep 7 to 8 hours every day. Get enough rest, and this way you can strengthen your immune system. And finally, please cherish your time with your family. And if you have children, please spend your quality time with them, teaching them. Maybe you can tell them stories, maybe you can teach them how to read or how to do exercise. There are so many things we can do with our children, with our family members. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Dr. Meetei. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Thank you.